Good morning, guys. So it's about 6:20. It was actually really warm last night. And the sleeping bag's rated for, I think, like 32 or something like that. So I actually stayed pretty warm. Now outside of my sleeping bag, it is pretty chilly. Like the air temp of the tent is definitely the same as the outside temp. I think it's about 51 right now. That's what it says the temperature is. I don't know what the feel like is. Let's see what the feel like is. Alright, the feel like is 49. So that's what it says. Right there. It feels like 49. So definitely that, like, my GoPro's cold, my phone's cold. Everything outside of my sleeping bag is pretty chilly. But like I said, in my sleeping bag, it's definitely warm. I didn't shiver at all last night. But I also got layers on too, and it was a really comfortable night of sleep. That's one thing I can say, is it was definitely a good night of sleep. I don't know if you can hear the wind out there. It's blowing through the trees, so it's shifted back to northeast. So it's essentially coming from that way. And the kayak is over back here behind me. So that's the way I've got to go too. So the wind's coming from that way. I've got to go that way to get back to the ramp. And it's going to be like that all day. I checked the weather. It's northeast all day. But the sun, let's see if the sun's peeking out yet. Yeah, so sun's still not coming out yet. Still pitch black out there. You can see a little bit of it coming up the horizon out there. Yeah, if you look over there, you can see some of the sun coming up. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna clean up the inside of my tent. I'm gonna get my cot broke down, my sleeping bag rolled up. I'm gonna get everything in here organized. I'm not gonna take my tent down until the sun's way up in there, probably till about 10 o'clock, because outside is probably a little wet from the morning dew. So you don't want to take down your tent when it's wet and put away a wet tent, or else when you take it back out, it'll be molded. So yeah, so I'm gonna get everything in here, broke down and put away, packed up, and get dressed for the day. And then I'm gonna make breakfast. I might go fish for a little bit. I love that sound. That's why I sleep so good out here. These Australian pines right here behind me, I love the way the wind blows through them. It sounds so nice. It makes it sound like water is crashing on the beach, but it's not. It's just the wind blowing into the pine trees. But yeah, I got all my GoPro batteries are charged, so I'm good to go on that. Yeah, so start getting up, moving around, taking everything down, and I'll see you guys at breakfast.
Oh my god, that is a huge snook. I think he's got it. Got him. Oh yeah, this is a nice one. Come on, get some ground on him. There we go, that's a nice trout right there. Holy cow, look at this thing. We're gonna measure him up. That trout tickle right there, man. That color. I just got slammed on that color today, guys. That doesn't say something. Oh, that's a tarpon.
Walk down here real quick. Check on the kayak. Kayak's doing alright. Very windy day. For breakfast, we got some cherry wood bacon. We got some eggs. Crack open a Red Bull. Alright, so I like my bacon cooked pretty soft. I don't like hard, crispy bacon. Take that off. Let's see on this paper towel. Okay. Alright, now for the eggs. Now these things hold water. That's the only downside, but that doesn't really matter too much because they're eggs, they're in a shell. So when you open it though, just gotta make sure you watch out for that water, especially if it's cold. So I'm gonna turn the heat off real quick while I get the eggs ready. Alright. Oh, that one's done. Here, I'm gonna cook them in the bacon grease. Adds a little bit of flavor to them. There, turn the heat back on. Alright, here we go. 3 eggs and some bacon. That's breakfast.
Alright guys, so I got everything pretty much all the way packed up. Got the grill packed up, got my tote packed up for all of my supplies, cooler's pretty much packed up, ready to go. All the trash I've went around and picked up. The only things out are stuff that have to go on the boat with me. I'm waiting for this to, it's got a little bit more drying left to do, but I mean, everything in here is also packed up. Got my sleeping bag packed up, my cot, my clothes. That's my dry bag, comes with me. So everything in there is ready just to come out. I got my GoPro stuff here. Fishing poles are over there. So yeah, everything's ready just to pretty much grab and go. So I'm gonna go do a little bit of fishing. It's really windy. I really want to go hit where I seen those redfish yesterday. That's gonna be a hell of a kayak. That's gonna be a hell of a paddle though, because I'm gonna have to cross all this heavy wind. I'm debating on whether I want to do that or not. So so the paddle over is actually not too bad. It's the waves more than anything. They're rocking me around pretty bad. And the water's really cold. It's actually really cold. So yesterday we seen a bunch of redfish over here. Seen quite a few of them. I broke off two. Caught some decent trout from that flat to this flat. You know, that caught a 20 inch over there, 21 inch over there. So no matter where I go, so the way I pretty much mapped this out was, the way I planned it in my head at least, was when we have a strong north wind like this in this area, unless I'm ready to go home and leave, which I'm gonna be loaded down with my camping stuff, anywhere from where I'm camped at, you know, south, is not going to be a fun paddle back to get my stuff. It's going to take a lot of energy to go against this. Whereas if you're going sideways, directly across, you got the wind blowing at your side, but it's not as bad. It's not in your face. So you're still, you know, if I launch over here, I'm going to end up a little bit off of where my point is. So I decided to come straight across. So we seen fish over here yesterday. I know there's fish over here. Pretty much same exact weather pattern. The only difference is there's a little bit of a stronger wind today than there was yesterday. So I'm a little bit out of the wind now. And it's a lot easier because now I can feel my slack. I can control my slack. I'm feeling like a little snapper and stuff. I'm feeling every little bump now, whereas before, there it is. Alright, that feels like a really big trout. Oh, I knew as soon as I got to this corner I hooked into something. I don't know what I'm hooked into yet though. I think I might have a red or a big trout. Oh, I think it's a little red. Nice. I got a red. Look at that. I knew this corner was going to pay off. Alright. Alright. to where I seen him yesterday. Right where I seen him yesterday. There we go. Got ourselves a little red. Oh, he just twirled himself all up in that line. Let's go to this side. Pop the bail. Alright. Alright. Drop the anchor. Don't want to go far though. There we go. Alright, let me pull my sleeves up. I don't want them to get wet. There we go. Got my red for the trip. I'm happy now. It's that 4-inch jerk shad. Alright, there it is. Right there. Got that Z-Man jerk shad. There we go. Yeah. There we go. A little red. Lure out. More look at it. Go ahead. Let him go. There it goes. Alright, got my red. I'm super happy. That's what I was saying too. As soon as we got to this point, I figured they'd do good. As soon as we got to this point. So these mounds are all over a lot of these flats out here. You see them, they're everywhere. And they're on the flat that you take to get to the island too, from the ramp. And on the way back, I'll actually show them to you guys. On the way back, I'll actually show you. Oh, found another one. Gotta get off this. Gotta get a little bit more deeper. Alright, hang on. Ooh. Alright, so we're gonna have to get out for a minute. Float across this so we get a little bit deeper. I'm about busting my ass. Thought I'd make it across this part, but I guess not. Should be good now. Alright, so now I'm back in my kayak. So these mounds right here. Alright, so you see all these mounds? They're everywhere out here. They're on most of these flats that are out here. And on these low tides, and actually on my way out when I was loaded down, because they're everywhere on that flat to get to the island from the launch. Also, I hit one, like the side of one, and I rolled a little bit. I almost thought I was gonna go over, but I didn't. But yeah, those mounds are everywhere out here. There was a bunch of needlefish. And what's cool, got something. What are you doing here under the boat? Oh, I side hooked a ladyfish. Look at that. That's why I felt like it was so big. That's the perfect size. See, if I would have caught him yesterday, I would have kept him. Perfect size. If I would have caught him yesterday, I would have kept him. But I would have chunked him up and soaked him out for like big snook or red or even a shark maybe. I don't know. Alright. Finally got something. Oh, a nice trout. Oh, he let go. Good. Yeah, I wasn't prepared to deal with those treble hooks. Alright. That means we're getting into some fish, so I'm going to throw them about the same spot. See if there's another one there. What I'll probably do is use this as a search bait find them because I really don't want to deal with these treble hooks. I forgot I had treble hooks on this thing. So I'm actually going to throw a different bait. I don't want to deal with the treble hooks. Ooh. I might try that pole counting tweaker. I might try that out. See how that does. Try this out. That's what it is right there. So I went and bought owner twist lock hooks. You know, I don't really order the Haas Helix hooks off of the website just because I don't really use any other baits, and I didn't want to wait for shipping and everything. So I went and got some of these owner twist locks. These owner twist locks are in the Haas Helix. They're pretty much the same exact hook. You know, Salt Strong got with owner because owner has this twist lock patented. It has the point at the end, so makes it a lot easier for the twist lock. I do believe that the owner twist lock is the best twist lock out there. I really do. I think the only difference is the Haas Helix might have a bigger gap, but the owner twist lock is pretty much the same. They're pretty much the same hook. So there's a fish right here. See if I can get him to hit this thing. No, he didn't want it. That was a nice sized fish. I think it was a big trout. This thing's on an 1/8 ounce. I got it on an 1/8 ounce. This is intended to be thrown for in shallower water pretty much. There's another fish right here. I think it's a big trout. Alright, so let's try this thing out. So I just threw it right where that fish was. He should have hit it. I don't know why he didn't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some Pro Cure on this thing. It says these are scented. They come scented. I didn't put a rattle in there. So I didn't put one of the battle rattles in there. It's just been so windy. I'm not trying to, you know, I should have probably done it before I rigged it up or after, or I don't know when. I've used the rattles before in the power prawns. Those work great. Those are probably one of my favorite shrimp lures, honestly. I'm gonna get some of this inshore Pro Cure on here. See if that helps, because there was some big fish. They looked like some really big trout. Alright, that school's coming, so I just moved out of the way. So I'm not gonna be in line with them anymore. See if they ate this little shrimp. Oh, one of them looked at it. That's just a whole school of redfish. I should have left that other bait on. Got one. I think I got one. Oh, it's a trout. I thought I had one. I threw right by him. Dang, trout had to mess it up. So that little salty Ned rig shrimp right there. Alright, there we go. That's like the size I wanted yesterday. I'm gonna keep walking, see if I can continue to see these redfish, because they're schooling over here. That's like a little school of them, probably about 20. But they came right at me. I didn't even see what they were until they were right there. And so I'm gonna keep walking this, see if I can see them coming back toward me. Oh, there's a redfish right here. Not spooked yet. Oh, didn't want it. Dang. What the heck? I'm gonna have to put a kicker crab on or something, or tie back on that other one I had on, that jerk shrimps. That might work. Yeah, I'm actually gonna take off this salty Ned rig and I'm gonna put on the jerk shrimps. I got this jerk shrimps tied back on. It's an 1/8 ounce weight, so it's heavier than that salty Ned rig shrimp. And I think this color will make it stand out, so I'll make it easier for them to see also. This is definitely one of my top 5 favorite sight casting baits. It's 1/8 ounce weight, so it'll actually get a little bit deeper, so it's better for the wind. It's not super heavy, so I can work it shallow. So it's a really great bait. And I'm gonna go ahead and hopefully I can see. I wish I actually had this tied on whenever I seen those redfish, but I didn't. I had already taken it off. I had just taken it off. So hopefully I get another shot at those guys. Show you guys this real quick though, just to think. So my last video, I went out with Rich, and I was paddling across all that. All that I was paddling across. That's where we were sitting looking at the tailing reds, was over all that. The main sandbar is way past all this. So that's how shallow it is right now. That's how low of a tide we have right now. Alright guys, so I'm coming to the end of this flat now. I'm gonna make my paddle cross to the island. You know, it's been an okay day. Despite the wind, cold. I mean, I've still got my hoodie on, and so it's still pretty cold. But yeah, it's probably this is gonna be the end of the fishing trip slash camping trip, I should say, besides packing up and stuff. But I've never seen a school of redfish that big. You know, there's probably like 20 to 40 redfish in that school. It wasn't a big school, but it was definitely a nice school of redfish. And I've never encountered a school of fish like that, a school of redfish, and throw into it and not catch one. Anytime I've ever seen a school of redfish like that, I'd always get at least one to bite. So that was very odd. And I threw everything. I threw a gold spoon, I threw the jerk shrimps, that turd Ferguson, the salty Ned shrimp, the mirror lure. I threw everything at them, and I didn't get one fish to bite. So that definitely kind of stumped me a little bit. I'm up pulling up to the camp now. You figure when I left this morning, the tide was up past these 2 sticks right here and almost to that one up top. So tide's gone out a lot. Well, I'm gonna go load up. Wind's blowing that direction, which is perfect because that's where I need to go. So I'm gonna go ahead, load up, and see you guys when I'm loaded up. So real quick, I figured I'd show you real quick. I told you whenever I came out here, trash bag everything. But these are heavy duty 40-gallon trash bags, so I know everything can fit in them. And you don't have to overly tighten them. There's plenty of room. What I do is I double trash bag them. So this one is actually my duffel bag with my clothes and a lot of my electronics in it. So I'll actually put it in the bag upside down, tie the knot, then put the knot to this bag on the bottom, then tie this knot on the top. So I double bag it, but I don't tie the knots in the same place, because that knot where you tie it at, the bag at, water can still get in there. It's possible for it to still get in there. So I usually will put the main knot to the main, so I'll put the main bag face down. That way, if water does happen to get into this knot, it's hitting here and it's not going into the other knot too. I always double bag my main stuff. So yeah, like I said, these, I think it was like 13 bucks for like a pack of like 25 of these big trash bags. And I actually reuse these too. You know, I've got, that's one of the rolls. The other roll I left in my truck because I'm not going to be using all those. I used one of the ones that I used to come over for trash, and then I'm reusing these ones that I came over. So I'm actually reusing the same bags. And That way I don't have to go through them all. All right, so I just finished carrying everything down. I did all that without my waders on. I didn't carry it to the kayak yet. I just carried it down to the beach because I didn't want to get my feet wet. I didn't want to carry stuff down with my waders and sweat. So last thing to grab is my chair and put on my waders. So now I'm just gonna do a quick, walk around the area I was in, make sure I'm not leaving any trash behind. Because the big thing is there used to be a sign up front, but it blew down from the hurricanes that said make sure you leave it how you found it. So I'm gonna come over and walk over to where I was camping at too, and see if I can make sure I didn't leave anything over there. That guy up there, and two of them hanging out here the whole time. This isn't mine, but I'll take it. Alright, so nothing over here. That board was here when I got here, so I just used it to pretty much to clean out this area. Alright. So yeah, so just make sure whenever you go camping somewhere, just make sure you clean up after yourself. Don't leave it a mess. Don't leave any trash or anything there. Take everything with you. I mean, usually whenever people start leaving trash and destroying an area, that's when they start making it illegal to camp on islands like this. There's not too many of them around anymore that you don't have to really pay to go to, but this one, I never heard of you having to get a permit for here, but I do know Dog Island, some people have said that they've had to get permits to camp there. I never have. I've never been told that I needed one. FWCs came, they've never asked for a permit or nothing, so I've never got a permit for it. Now I know at the web you have to have a permit to camp out there, but it's free. You can go online, you schedule the days you're gonna be out there, they give you a permit number, that's it, you don't have to pay for it. I'd imagine it'd be the same thing with these, but just one last look at the island real quick before I load up my kayak and get out of here. What's crazy is the wind has died down a lot. I mean, you can still feel it out there. I can still feel it here. You can still probably hear it on the camera. So it's definitely still blowing, but this is honestly probably the perfect time to be out there fishing. But it's time for me to get heading back. I can get home and take a shower, get all my stuff put away. Still gotta wash everything down. Camping is definitely a lot that you have to do after the fact also. And make sure I have everything. Yeah, this dang tent, I've only used it one time, and this zipper is broke. First time I ever used it. That's not a problem though. Tent held up great. Honestly, I'm not mad at the tent at all. It held up great. All I'll do is, because this sometimes happens where you'll get a tent and it won't fit in the bag, back in the bag that you got it. It's really hard to get them to, but most of the time you end up busting the zipper after a few times of trying to cram everything back in there. But if you just go get a duffel bag, because these aren't waterproof, they're not waterproof at all, there's nothing special about them. You can go get a cheap duffel bag from Walmart and it'll do the same thing. But I'm gonna go ahead, get my waders on, load everything up. Everything that I need is right here, and I'm gonna load it up on the kayak and get out of here. So loaded up, ready to go. I'm about to do my outro here in a minute, but just wanted to let you guys know. So the cool thing about camping, especially when you're trying to be limited, is usually the way out is going to be the most scariest time to come out, because that's when you're loaded down to the max. You figure I came out here with 2 full gallons of water, 12 pack of bottled water, My cooler was loaded down with food and ice and stuff like that. The ice melted, so I drained that. I have 2 ice packs in there that are still cold, so the food's fine. Came out here with bread. I came out here with chips. I came out here with all sorts of stuff. And you figure a lot of that goes away. So both those gallons of water are gone. I've only got 2 bottles of water left, and I think I've got like 6 of the Gold Peaks left. So actually, I think it was a 9-pack. It was a 9-pack of Gold Peaks, not a 7. We'll say I only drank 3 of them, and there's about 6 left. So yeah, it was a 9-pack of Gold Peaks. So whenever you use that water, you drink that water, you eat that food, that's taking weight off of your kayak now. So whenever it's time to leave, if you made it there when you were fully loaded down, when you first get there, you're 100% gonna make it back unless something crazy happens. It's not gonna be because of weight in your kayak, because you figure I've already, you know, that's my bag of trash back there, but it's all empty bottles and stuff. So I've probably lost close to about 50 pounds of weight just eating and drinking and stuff like that. So just one thing to keep in mind, that if you make it to the island or to wherever you're going when you're loaded down, you're not gonna have any issues getting back, because you've already used a lot of the necessities that you brought. Yeah guys, this is super shallow right here. Normally this is like 3 to 4 feet of water. That is out where I came across on the way out, and where I normally cut across to go to this cove. It's completely out of the water. I seen a really big trout swim by me, really big one. There's a little pothole right here. I might take a cast in it since I've got to come this way anyways. I might actually have to get out and start pulling, because between my weight and the weight of all this stuff, it's probably gonna, I might bottom out here soon. I'm gonna take a cast in this pothole, see if anything's in it. Might be fun. Trying to cast over all this stuff. Just not gonna be able to set the hook and fight too hard. I don't want to tip. Oh, look at that! Haha! Haha! Right in this pothole. Told you guys. It's gonna be bonus footage. Oh, he let go. That was a big one. I tightened down. Look at him. That was a big trout. Holy cow. I wasn't gonna put anything of me crossing in the footage, but I guess I am now. That was really cool. I think my drag was a little too tight, and with the wind pushing against me. Tell you what guys, this little jerk shrimps, I'll put a picture of it up here, but they work great during this time of year. They really do. Alright guys, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do my outro here. So the only thing I'm worried about is it looks like everything over there is out of water. That's what it looks like, which that happens from time to time around this time of year. That whole flat that I came across will be out of water. So instead of it being a straight shot over, I might either have to go out and around that way or out and around that way, possibly. But I'm gonna get down that way, see how it looks. It does look like it's out of water, so I'll probably start heading that way, then cut down, because it gets pretty deep over on that side, and there's a main channel. So just make it a little bit longer of a travel to go back, but it should still be an easy paddle though, because the wind's still blowing. Now the crazy thing is this is probably the best time to be fishing right now. If I was to stay out here again today, I wouldn't have got up and went fishing this morning. I would probably right now be leaving to go fishing. The sun's up, the wind's down. I mean, you can definitely start seeing birds are more active. You can see mullet jumping everywhere. It looks a lot better than it did when I went out this morning. But it's time for me to go ahead and get back home. I got a lot of breakdown to do. Like I said, when you go camping, there's a lot of getting ready, there's a lot of setup, and there's a lot of breakdowns. The breakdown is probably the hardest part, because you gotta go through, you gotta clean everything, because you can do dishes out here enough to, you know, use them, but whenever you're going to stow everything away for a few weeks or even a couple months or forever long, you want to actually wash it down really good when you get home. So I gotta do laundry, which I only went through one outfit, but so laundry, you figure my poles, I usually, after a camping trip, I'll usually break them down and, you know, give them a really nice cleaning, because I've been out here for a day. Sometimes I've come out here for 2 days, so yeah, just wash everything down really good, go through everything, go through the food. You have to go through everything, so there's a lot of breakdown when it comes to finishing up camping. But it was a great trip, honestly. You know, I didn't catch a lot of fish. I got my red though. I'm happy I got my red this trip. But yeah, it was a great trip nonetheless, of the wind and the temperature. But I knew what I was getting into when I came out here. I knew that it wasn't going to be a really big fishing trip because of the temperatures and stuff like that, the winds. I knew this was going to happen. I knew like normally so when I used to camp on this island, like with my brother and my friends and stuff like that, we would fish from sun up to sundown, because we'd pick the weekends that we come out here. We'd be very picky about it. This time I knew what I was getting into, and I came out here, honestly, I expected it to be a little bit worse than it was. So it wasn't that bad. I thought I was gonna freeze in the tent. I was actually really warm last night. I didn't shiver at all. I was very comfortable last night. All the things that I used, the charger packs, the lanterns, the sleeping bag, the cot, even the tent, I'll put links down in the description of everything I use when it comes to camping items. Like I said, this is pretty much, I wouldn't come out with anything more than what I did. I mean, I've got enough food in my cooler also to stay another day, so I always bring extra food. So I've got enough eggs in there to stay probably, I brought a dozen, so I've got plenty of eggs. I got enough eggs to do 2 or 3 more breakfasts. I've still got like sausage links. I still got potato salad left, so I would be able to either make breakfast for dinner, or I would be able to make the sausage for dinner, make, you know, eggs for lunch. I've got plenty of food left to stay another night. So this is everything that I brought for one person. The thing that takes up the most room, honestly, is your cooking supplies. You want to come out here with a decent cooking set. I mean, that's in my opinion, because that's your food source right there. I mean, if you don't have good cooking gear and you don't have, you know, the pots, the pans, the utensils, it can get rough out here. So honestly, I do bring a little extra when it comes to the cooking supplies, but you know, I bring a propane tank. You can get the really small propane things that have the little tiny thing that screws on top. Those are good, they work great, but I want to make sure that I'm not going to run out of propane. I want to make sure that I have enough cooking surface to cook food. So, but yeah, other than that, it was a great trip. I was really happy to get out here. Honestly, I want to try to get at least 2 or 3 more camping videos throughout this season. You know, it's January now, and I'll camp all the way up till the end of March. Sometimes I'll even camp in April, depending on the temperatures and stuff. I didn't have to light my thermocell. Thermocells are great. I'll put a link down in the description for a thermocell also. Those things work awesome. I love them. You know, if it's just one person, I'll bring one. I'll put it right next to my chair. I don't ever get ate by bugs. Usually if there's a few of us, I'll bring 2 or 3 of them, because each one does a 15 foot radius. But I definitely want to do a couple more camping trip videos. I definitely want to do more camping videos. I know I've been talking to a couple other guys down in Matlacha and stuff, and they've really been wanting to do a camping trip. So I just wanted to come out here. You know, this was real like last minute. I checked the weather. I'm like, oh man, it's gonna be cold, it's gonna be windy. I'm like, you know what, I want to do a solo camp. Went and got the stuff, did my solo camp. I just wanted the experience of being out here by myself. I've never done a camping trip by myself like this, and honestly, it was really fun. I had a lot of fun. Didn't catch a lot of fish, but I had a great time. Hope you guys really enjoy this video. You know, likes, comments, I mean, those likes and comments really help boost my videos. I mean, I noticed that usually when a video gets a bunch of comments or a bunch of likes, usually that one gets a lot more views and it puts it out there more, and usually my subscribers go up. So that is my goal for this year, is hit over 1,000. I would like to try to get to 1,500 by the end of the year. So I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not, but that's my goal now. You know, it's January. I want to get to 1,500 by the next new year. That would be awesome. Once I get to 1,000, I'm going to do a giveaway. It's probably going to be like a bottle of Pro Cure, some jig heads, some soft plastics, maybe a hard plastic. I don't know what I'm going to do yet with the giveaway, but as soon as I get to like 980, I'm going to go out and buy a nice little giveaway pack, and I'll probably do a small video on the giveaway, all the items I'm giving away. So like I said, I hope you guys really enjoy this type of video. I really want to start doing more of these. It's just, we're in Florida. Nobody camps in July and August here. If you're out here camping in July and August, you're crazy. It's so hot. I mean, bugs are outrageous. It's just not comfortable being out here. I'd rather come camp during the cooler months where it's nice and comfortable. Like right now, it's beautiful out. I mean, it's probably like 62 degrees. I mean, the wind's not blowing super hard right now, but the wind's still blowing. It's very comfortable being out here. But I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification down at the bottom. Remember guys, there's always time for one more cast. I will see you later.